Hey everyone, Susanna here. I'm just going to show you how I trim this bowl real quick. I've had some people ask me to show how I trim the foot, and this clay is a new clay to me. It's called Iceman. I had never tried this before, and as you know, with any clay that is new, it's a little bit of a struggle because you're still trying to get used to the clay. So it was a good clay for throwing, but I still don't know because I'm pretty new to it. I just started 2 days ago using this, but from what I can see, it's pretty good for. It does really well on trimming. It's very smooth. So I'm using a foam pad. It's a bat that has a foam, and then you put that on your wheel, and then you just you don't need to put anything to hold your bowl. So this is like a medium-sized bowl will be, and I'm using a diamond core tool. So as you can see, it's a very smooth clay. Let me know if you have any questions. I just thought, since I needed to trim this, I just thought about just making a quick video. I don't have the, I guess it's called Griffin grip for trimming. So I use like pieces of clay to hold usually the piece to my wheel head. But this foam pad does a pretty good job. I hope the lighting is okay. As you can see, it's really smooth. So my idea here is that I'm gonna go in about, I don't know, maybe a ½ inch in to make this the foot for the bowl. Because it was too wide, so I'm trying to make it a little bit smaller. And then I'll probably do another one trimming. I'm gonna trim some mugs today also, so I'll probably do another video later for the mugs, because I know some people wanted to see how I trim the foot. So this is the part that you decide how small or how wide you want your foot to be. I don't have that much clay here, so it's more here on the sides, and you see when I start trimming the middle how, you know, it's not gonna be like a real deep foot for this bowl. But you usually have quite a bit of clay here at the bottom. And I usually tap to hear the sound, and that's how I judge how much more I have to go. There's not much here. There's some here towards the middle, and going from here to the bottom of the clay, of the bowl, sorry. And then another thing I like to do is, which I have mentioned before, is I usually try to make a little groove at the bottom, which gives a place for the glaze. If you use like a drippy glaze, it gives a place for the glaze to stop, so you won't go to your shelf. So the foot right now is probably like 5 inches wide. I'm gonna go maybe just a little bit narrower than that, slightly smaller. I don't want it to go too small, just for balance. So here, it's thinner here, right in the center, than it is here on the sides. So pretty much the way you do it, you determine how wide you want this ring to be. So mine right now is a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch, almost a 1/2 inch right now. And then I can start going, making it a little smaller if I want to, because I like things to be on the lighter side, the weight of my pieces. Same thing with my mugs. I like them to be pretty lightweight. That's just something from working with porcelain. I've gotten into the habit of making things that are lightweight. So same thing for throwing. I throw on the thinner side. So when you're trimming a bowl, you envision this as a continuation of the round bottom, almost like if this ring was just placed here and the bowl was completely round, meeting this side here. So that's what I try to envision. And I go much deeper at the edges right here. And then here in the center, not so much. Just because I didn't leave a whole lot of clay here. Now some bowls I do want it to have more, almost like a pedestal, then I can leave more clay for the foot to be deeper. And this one I didn't because this bowl, and I made another one that is a porcelain bowl. I'm testing a new glaze. So I didn't want to waste too much clay when I'm testing, because if it doesn't work out, then you're losing all this clay. And I wanted to test it on a bigger bowl than just a tester. So I go from testing on a tile to then test on something bigger. And I usually go something a little smaller, but this time I wanted something about this size because I have tested this glaze before and I've gotten problems with pinholes. But lately I've been testing it, applying thicker, and so far it has been working on a test tile. So I wanted to rule out that maybe that was my problem in the past, was that I didn't apply the glaze, you know, thick enough. So we'll see. If it works out, I'll share, as I always do. I always share my glazes, glaze combinations that I use. So I'm really looking forward to this one because it's really beautiful. So I don't want to say much now because, like I said, it's just a test. But you see how here I don't have that much clay, and here I do because it's going down rounded this way. So I am taking more right here to make that ring for the foot. And right now it's a little bit, I would say it's kind of like a soft leather hard, not quite leather hard yet. But that's how I like to work on my pieces, is before leather hard, because I do sculpt and add some sculpted elements like I do with my mugs. I'm adding, so this collection here that I'm gonna be working on, it's gonna be all frogs and birds. So I am going to be doing a lot of sculpting and hopefully sharing with you some of my sculpting that I'm making. And I know the frogs are popular and the birds are popular, so that will be for, hopefully I'll have it before the holidays. I'll have this collection done. And I'm using mostly white stoneware and porcelain. Those are the two clay bodies that I'll be using. So here I get some lines, and then I switch over to this type of trimming tool just to get rid of the lines. Not very sharp, but I'm using to take off those trimming lines from the other tool. The other one is a much sharper tool than this one. So I like the Diamond Core tools. They make excellent trimming tools. So there, I just removed the lines here. Now I'm gonna remove some from here. And then I'll take another look and see if I'm done or if I need to trim a little bit more. Let's see. I think I can probably trim a little bit more here. I like to at least give it enough space here on my foot to glaze. I like to glaze the bottom. So I try to give at least enough, you know, to have like 1/8 of an inch at least of depth on my foot here so I can glaze that. And I usually sign my signature with the Mako liner, designer liner. Then I wait until it dries a little bit, and then I glaze. So I think it sounds pretty good. So here's how I do it. And it's pretty light, and you can see how has a nice shape inside. It's very rounded, and I always use my ribs, my metal ribs, something like this to go, you know, in the inside when I'm throwing, to make it very round, the bottom, and has a nice shape. So this is done. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.